As you can see that the process of setting up the basic plugins being completed, and when the process got completed, it will redirect to this screen. Actually, this screens consist to create an admin user, so you can use your Jenkins for later on to log into it. So you can use your any of the your choice username and password. This is not necessary to provide a complex either, or also you can provide over here some email. We can give a friendly name to him over here, and we can just save and continue. At this point we can specify a URL to access the Jenkins server. Either it could be your IP, or it could be any server name along with the port and everything. This is related to the instance configuration. We are going with the defaults. After that we just need to start the Jenkins server, and then it will be redirect us to the login screen of the Jenkins. It will take a while because it just restart Tomcat, and while restarting it will redeploy the war file as well. And this configuration been picked up, and Jenkins UI configuration will picked up by the disk, picked up from the disk. So we just need to wait for a while. Meanwhile the Jenkins got started. After the Jenkins got started, we will be redirect to the login screen. Then we can log into the Jenkins admin, which we created just before, and then we can start configuring the Jenkins server. As I already mentioned that my server has a lower specification, so it's taking more time than my expectation. If you have a good configuration, it will be very fast for yourself as well. So once the configuration been completed, then we will reconfigure our server for memory and CPU, so it will function more efficiently. As we can see that it's saying that Jenkins is running up and running successfully. It just reload the configuration uh, from the disk. Okay, we are directed to the credentials. We need to use the username and password we just created for. Okay, this is the initial screen for Jenkins. We can create new jobs from right away from here, and there are some other options. We can do this from. We need to configure the Jenkins. We have the option for configure credentials. These credentials are normally for the system level configuration, like any sort of package we need to go with. This is the core component of configuring system. So here we can say that the Jenkins var home directory. This is the directory where Jenkins keep its all files. Here this is the number of executed. That means if we specify two number, that means we can run two parallel jobs into it. This is the label. This can be used in the job configuration to specify the agent to run with. If you see that here we are executing two executor, and we can see that build executor status is 2 as well. So if we increase the number, then we can use the executor as well. So here we are saying that this is the master node. We are giving it named as a master. So any build with the label name master will be executed on this node. So and this is our Jenkins URL, and this is our system admin email address, and there are some other configurations as well. These are the default plugins configuration. We haven't changed or add anything. This is our SMTP server configuration. We can define our SMTP server to use by Jenkins, or if we don't if we want to use the local SMTP, then we don't need to specify SMTP server over here. Here we can specify the email suffix, like Jenkins at linuxtuition.com. So we can do the advanced configuration as well. We can use the SMTP configuration as well if you want. If not, then we can just go and save the configuration to the Jenkins. This is the initial thing which we have done already. Then we normally need some plugins to use in our builds. There are several plugins we normally pursue to have. In order to install plugins, you can go to the manage Jenkins, and then manage plugins, and then from the manage plugins you can see available. There are some plugins which we normally use for, we use the pipeline plugin, build pipeline. So we can use the build pipeline plugin, and pipeline GitHub notify steps. These two plugins normally used for this one is the pipeline plugin. Okay. There are some or more plugins. These plugins provide us the ability to create the pipelines from Jenkins. Also, there are some other plugins like copy artifact over SSH. So we can just search for SSH plugins. These plugins you use to publish content, build content or artifacts to the server using SSH protocol. We also add the SSH plugin if we need to execute SSH exit commands through to remote shells. We have some plugin, we have a remote server, and we want to execute some commands on the remote server, then we can use with this plugin. This plugin is also used for SSH pipelines, and this is the SSH agent plugin. These plugins are very significant to for the deploy steps. Publish over SSH, actually what it does, it will send the artifact to the remote servers, and then remote servers using the SSH protocol. And let's install this plugin. What it does, it will install the dependencies as well as the required packages as well. As you can see that I already clicked on the install on the next restart, so it just downloading, and when I reboot the Jenkins, it will automatically get installed to it. Just to make the concise video, I will be back after when the installation got completed.